Hi guys, this is Cindy from Part-Time Permies. Today we are going to talk about evening primrose. How to identify it, what parts you can eat, and what parts are used medicinally. This second-year plant is easier to identify than the first-year plant. This grows much shorter in the wild. This is in my garden. It is about probably a little over 3 feet tall. It shoots up these lance-like flower stalks, and the flowers will open up in the evening, usually just a couple on a stalk at a time, and close up sometime in the morning. Flowers are little yellow flowers with 4 petals. They will slowly open up the stalk, and you can see these are the seed pods from previous flowers that were pollinated. These generally are pollinated by moths at night, but I have seen bees on them as well. These leaves are basically long pointed lance-like leaves. They can have a little wave on the edge of them. And the easiest way to find the first-year plants is to look nearby the second-year plants. So the first-year plants are going to be these long lance-like leaves coming out of a central rosette, basically, on the first year. Some young leaves if you're going to use them in salads, or you can use those young seed pods or some flowers in your salads. These do get bitter with age, so if you're picking them later, you will want to cook those. You can also, in the late fall, harvest the root. Now in the late fall, that's going to be at its biggest. It's going to have the most number of sugar stored in that root. Eat it raw in some plants or cooked in others. When these seeds mature, you can also take the seeds out of the seed pod and use them like poppy seeds. And that is also where they extract evening primrose oil from, is from these seed pods. I'm not a doctor. I'm not making any medical recommendations here. And that GLA that is found in this plant and highly concentrated in its seeds, that is an essential fatty acid. You can actually make a tea out of this, out of the leaves, out of the bark or stems, out of the flowers, and you can put some seeds in there as well. This plant does have some sedative effects, so it might be great for evening tea. It's been used to treat some coughs like whooping cough or other respiratory issues like asthma. A poultice used topically, so on your skin, has been used for treating arthritis. The oil has also been used in treating skin issues like eczema. The oil used internally has been used for lowering blood pressure, reducing blood clots, and for premenstrual issues. A breast surgeon in our area who recommends evening prim oil use for breast pain. There are some books that suggest it may be useful in treatment of multiple sclerosis. There is one contraindication, or one group of people who should not use this, and that is those with epilepsy. Now this plant does grow natively across America and likes the poor, sandier soils, but you can definitely get seeds and plant it in your garden as well. These plants here, I basically scattered seeds I grabbed from our wilder areas and put it in the garden. But just a heads up that the GLA amounts have been reported at higher levels in less fertile soils. So if you're planting it in your garden, you might actually have lower GLA amounts than the wild plants in your area. We are going to be experimenting with the culinary uses of this plant ourselves, but if you can let us know what you've used this plant for, and whether it's for food or for medicine, in the comments below, and how you're harvesting it. Are you growing it yourselves or harvesting it wild? We will catch you with our next video.